everybody! Let's continue our conversation about animal adaptations. Now, on Monday, when we were still in school, we decided that we were going to have a target that matched our entire week. This is that target. I can explore animal adaptations. So we've already talked about what the word adaptation means. So below this video, I want you to see if you can remember what adaptation means by selecting the correct answer. So that would check this box. Check defining the word adaptation. We have discussed migration and hibernation. We talked about migration on Monday and hibernation on Tuesday. Now, an animal that migrates is a bird, and an animal that hibernates is a bear. Two very simple examples. Check that box. Now, today and tomorrow, we are going to be talking about camouflage and mimicry. So I want you guys to think about an animal that you think might use camouflage or mimicry as a behavioral adaptation. Okay? So now I'm going to jump ahead to today's specific target. Okay, today is all about camouflage. That's right, I wore my camo just for this. Now, whenever we think of camouflage, at least I think of something that looks like this. Now, whenever we think of animal camouflage, do they have things that look like this? No, they don't. So, hopefully you were able to define the word camouflage, or you were able to figure out exactly what camouflage meant by watching the video above. Now, why do we think camouflage is an important adaptation? Why is it something that animals have figured out how to do? Why is it something that is part of our world now? So we're also going to be writing in our notebooks about camouflage. We've already talked about migration and hibernation. Today, lots of flipping, we are going to be talking about camouflage. So before you continue the video, make sure you go get your journal with this little flip book with the word camouflage. So go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, so hopefully you came back with your journal and everything you're going to need. So the last thing we're going to do today is we're going to write about at least one animal that uses this adaptation for survival. Okay, so what is camouflage? I mean, I gave you an example of my shirt, and we know that animals use it, but what is it? The definition that we have here is an adaptation that helps an organism survive by allowing it to blend in to its environment. Now, that is a lot of big fancy words, and I think that you and I can make that much easier to understand. I want you to imagine you are trying to explain camouflage to a kindergartner. How would you explain camouflage to a kindergartner? Think about that for a second. Now that you've thought about it, I want you to write your new definition underneath the camouflage tab. Remember, you're trying to explain this animal adaptation to a kindergartner. What would you say to them? Would you say an adaptation that helps an organism survive by allowing it to blend into its environment? It's a lot of big words for a kindergartner. What would you say? Go ahead and pause the video and continue watching after you're done. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you all wrote a definition that you could share with a kindergartner. Now, after this video, of course, you're going to take a close-up picture and put it on Seesaw so I can see it. But my definition that I would use for someone who doesn't understand camouflage is camouflage is a survival skill that some animals use to blend in to their surrounding areas. Example, a stick bug. Okay, so that's what camouflage is. Now, let's look at some organisms or living things that use camouflage. Ooh, we have the snowy owl, the zebra, a tree frog, a toad, a crocodile fish, and a horned lizard. Now, looking at this first example here, the snowy owl, I'm wondering if maybe the snowy owl uses camouflage in a different environment. I can see the snowy owl very well. But if I were to look outside right now, I would definitely not see the snowy owl if he was out there because it's snowy and he's white. Now a zebra uses camouflage a little differently because zebras are the same or very similar black and white striped pattern. It's hard for a predator to figure out what's one zebra versus what's 10 zebras. It's like, whoa, is that one giant zebra? Or is that like 4 zebras? What is it? They just kind of blend together. Now the tree frog, I'm sure blends in very well. This is just a really good picture where we can see it. Okay, so obviously we're not going to be able to turn and talk. Such a bummer. But you are going to answer a few of the questions below this video and make sure you upload your picture to Seesaw. Okay, nice job today. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about camouflage. Maybe you can see if you can use camouflage to surprise your mom or trick your sibling or hide from your dog.